What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jake's Home Lab. Today we're going to talk about what I use most on my server. So let's start with the big question that everybody asks. What hypervisor am I running on my server? The answer is Proxmox, and I honestly haven't found anything better. I've messed around with ESXi and vSphere, and they're solid, but I don't want to pay licensing fees. Proxmox gives me everything I need: VMs, LXCs, snapshots, backups, clustering, all in one place. I'm always open to trying other hypervisors, but right now Proxmox just works. Let's talk about my virtual machines. This one is my most used VM. It runs Debian Linux and hosts what everybody calls the 3 Rs. It hosts multiple Sonarr instances, Radarr, Prowlarr, and Overseerr. All of these come together to automate my entire media workflow, from searching and downloading to sorting and organizing everything automatically. And yes, this is all stuff that I own. Everything inside this VM runs in Docker containers, and honestly, about 99% of my services are containerized. Docker makes updates easier, rollbacks safer, and deployments way faster. My next VM is Nextcloud. I don't use it as heavily right now because I haven't finished building my NAS yet, but that's my next big project. If you're not familiar with Nextcloud, it's basically your own private Google Drive. I use it to edit Markdown files, work with Word documents, automatically back up photos, store and view PDFs, and even integrate it with OnlyOffice. I have Nextcloud connected on my SMB share. So if I upload something remotely, like a file from my phone when I get home, it's already sitting on my server ready to use. This one runs Casa OS, which I actually think is really cool, and if you're just starting out, I highly recommend that OS. Then there is my Jellyfin VM, also running Debian, and yes, clearly I love Debian. If you don't know what Jellyfish is, I highly recommend you checking it out. It's basically Plex, but more customizable, fully self-hosted, and open source. The biggest reason I use Jellyfin over Plex is offline access. If the internet goes out, Jellyfin always works. Everything lives on my server. With Plex, when you log in, it reaches out to their servers first, and if it can't, you're just stuck. With Jellyfin, everything stays local, I'm in full control, and it's completely free and open source. I also have a Windows 11 VM, and this one only exists for one specific purpose. I was having a hard time getting Libation to automatically scan my Audible library and back up my books into Audio Bookshelf, so I literally spun up a Windows VM just to make that work. If any of y'all know how to automate Libation scans on Linux, please let me know. I would love to tear down this VM. I also run a Red Hat Linux VM, which I use strictly for studying for the RHEL exam. A TrueNAS VM, which I actually need to remove because I've decided to run TrueNAS bare metal on its own hardware. A Plex VM, which is still running, but I plan on retiring it and converting it into my dedicated AdGuard server. The hardest part right now is getting my family to move to Jellyfin. They've already made Plex accounts just to have access, which is why I'm using Overseerr instead of Jellyfin, at least for right now. Now, LXCs, where 99% of my services run. Most of my services run live inside LXCs, and I love them. They're fast, lightweight, and incredibly easy to spin up. I have one LXC labeled test, which acts as a base for all my containers. I didn't save it as an actual Proxmox template because once you do that, you can't change the hardware settings. Most services don't need tuning, but I like having the option. I run 3 tunnels, 2 on this server and 1 on my Raspberry Pi, which I have running Bjorn. These give me zero trust remote access. What I like about Twingate and Cloudflare is the security model. You always have to authenticate. You can restrict access by identity or IP. Nothing gets exposed directly to the internet unless you want it to be. They do things differently though. Twingate acts like a zero trust VPN and doesn't require a domain. Cloudflare does require a domain, but it makes family access easier. So my setup is Twingate for SSH and admin access when I'm not home, Cloudflare for my services that family use and I use. I also run VaultWarden, which is a self-hosted version of Bitwarden. It lets me store passwords, cards, passkeys, and even TOTP 2FA codes, which I only recently started using. I didn't know it was there, and then I found it, and now I absolutely love it. One thing I really like is everything is stored locally on your server and on the app. If my server goes down while I'm out, I still have access to my passwords and cards, passkeys, and TOTP. And once the server comes back up, everything syncs again. Of course, this is backed up in at least 2 other locations because you should never trust a single copy. If you don't have 3, you don't have none. I run Audio Bookshelf, which is where all my Audible books get backed up to. There's no official iPhone app yet, but apps like Ploppa give you an app-like experience. I really love it. Audio Bookshelf is really great because I actually own my content instead of relying on a platform. If the platform goes down or if they decide like, we don't want this book no more, I don't have it anymore. Then I have NTFY, which is a free open source notification service. I use this one almost just as much as my media one. Some examples of what it notifies me about, what I have it programmed to do. When a system is logged into via SSH, I get the exact time, date, and the IP address that they signed in with or from. When DVDs finish ripping and make their way into Jellyfin and Plex, I get notified. Every LXC automatically reports its own host name, which is built directly into my base template. And so that just makes it automatic. So I just add that, I subscribe to that topic, and that's it. Then I have the Brain LXC. This is what I call my brain container. It runs N8N for automation workflows, Wiki.js for all my notes and my own personal wiki, Excalidraw for network diagrams and storyboards. Thanks to Network Chuck, I got into using N8N with NTFY. I can drop a text file or a PDF into an inbox folder and it automatically outputs my notes into Markdown for me. No manual note taking is required. Shout out Network Chuck again. Now let's talk security and monitoring. I have Wuzza, which is an open source XDR and SIEM for threat detection and response. Then I have Scanopy, which automates network mapping, and it shows devices, services, and even logos as the network grows. Bjorn, running on my Raspberry Pi. I use that for security awareness and just to test to see if my network is as strong as I want it to be. Now let's talk about my utilities that I use. Mozanoki, which is a self-hosted image optimizer. I use it to get my YouTube thumbnails under the 2 megabit limit. It keeps it high quality and it's fully ephemeral. Nothing gets stored like on those free online converters. Yes, they are more than likely selling your information, I can guarantee it. Then you have Wallos, which is a budgeting tool that helps track expenses and gives useful stats to your money. I like to know where my money goes before it goes. Then I have AdGuard, which I literally just spun up, which is making living basically ad-free. It blocks 99% of the ads across my entire network. Overall, this setup gives me full control, privacy, security, and the ability to grow as my network grows. Everything I run is intentional, self-hosted, and built around ownership. And that's what I enjoy the most. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And let me know what you have on your server. I would love to know if there's anything I should try out. Thank you. Have a great day. I'm signing out.